Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of A Healthy Dose of Fran and episode 2 of Avatar Month. Today's character study is looking at the fantastic female power Katara and how her as a character struggles more often than not with the idea and action of forgiveness. So today I'll be talking about Katara and the importance of forgiveness. Now, Katara and forgiveness is a big element of her character in general because in comparison to all the other characters, Katara struggles the most with even comprehending the idea of forgiving someone for betraying or slighting her or her friends in any way whatsoever. And I think this is very interesting to kind of see in her character because, like with Aang, Toph and Sokka, they have very different ideas of forgiveness and when it comes to forgiving someone, whereas Katara, nearly always, she will not forgive someone until she feels she can, and sometimes not even then. In most cases, when someone has betrayed her, she will hold on to that like no tomorrow. She will rely on this anger and frustration at this person as almost a means to survival. And I think this is rooted in the fact that her mother died, and from a young age after her father left to go fight in the war, Katara almost became the primary carer for her gram and her brother, taking on this motherly and parental role, almost being both parents really. She was looking after gram, she was looking after Sokka, she was doing things like sewing, she was cooking, she was doing everything a mother would do.
Ever since Mom died, I've been doing all the work around camp while you've been off playing soldier! Katara? I even wash all the clothes! Have you ever smelled your dirty socks? Let me tell you, not once!
It's no great leap to say that she was doing this from an incredibly young age and continues to do this throughout the entire series. With pretty much anyone who joins the gang, she will take on this motherly role almost instinctively now. And I think that's because it's ingrained into her psyche that she has to mother everyone around her because that's what she's meant to do, that's what she has to do because of what happened. And the fact that she knows what happened to her mother, that she almost really kind of saw it. She saw the firebender. She understood what happened to her mother. And that defines her character as a whole. And having that happen at this young age, I think is what led her to struggle with this idea of forgiveness, because she has been betrayed in the biggest way possible. Firstly, a man who came to her village, killed her mother. Her mother said everything would be okay. Her father said the same, and then they both left, one permanently and the other almost permanently because they never knew when he would come back. And because of what happened, she is defined by this event in her life and knows that there is great evil in the world, and if anyone does betray you, they don't deserve forgiveness. And I think that is a huge part of her character, and very much an interesting part because it defines her character throughout the entire series until maybe the last book, where we start to see this change in her actions and her reactions to those who have done her wrong, so to speak. And yes, throughout the majority of it she is angry, and this anger rules her life and rules the way in which she treats people, especially those who, in her mind, have done something wrong. Katara knows how to hold a grudge. She does not forgive or forget, whether it be Pakku's sexism, Jet's betrayal, or her father leaving her and Sokka behind. She will let them know her feelings, often in a destructive way. Katara finds it hard to forgive, or in most cases, does not want to. However, there are times when she has, and it's often when something has changed her perspective of this person. Examples of this is when the actions show that this person has changed, like Jet doing the right thing in the end, or Zuko helping her find her mother's killer. It is here that she eventually finds it in herself to forgive. But as mentioned, throughout these series, eventually she does learn that to not forgive someone is to do you as a person more of a disservice than anything else. You are harming yourself by holding on to this rage and anger. As seen as when she goes to kill the man who killed her mother, Yun-Ra, she hurts her brother by saying he must not have loved their mother as much as she did. She uses bloodbending even though she swore she would never use it again. And when it comes down to whether or not she should kill Yun-Ra, she decides not to, almost trying to forgive herself for going on this warpath, for going on this need for vengeance and revenge against a man that destroyed her life, and she was letting him continue to do that by going out to go and kill him. And I think it's an amazing moment for her character to see her change so much from being this little girl who was defined by this moment and still is even in future, but is able to take a step back and realise that killing isn't the way to go forward. And yes, she will never forgive Yun-Ra, but she can learn to forgive those around her who, yes, they may have done her wrong in the past, but they have shown that they can do something good with their lives. And we see this continue on even in the graphic novels, where in The Promise she sees Fire Nation citizens as not the evil masterminds and villains as she perceived them to be because of this perception she had from a young age, but as just normal people. In the case of meeting a firebender and earthbender married couple with a child who were so rooted in their Fire Nation culture, but were still able to blend together and fell in love. And that is an amazing thing to see, that even after the series she's still learning to understand how to forgive and take a new perspective of the world around her. And I think that's almost what makes her one of the strongest characters in the series, because something that defined and destroyed her childhood, which led to her not being able to forgive, because how can you after being emotionally scarred? It's no wonder that you can't forgive those who slight you, who betray you, and especially Zuko in certain cases of his actions towards her and her friends and family. But she begins to understand that not every action is that of the person, and if they are able to show that they can change, she must as well. They have to meet each other halfway, and as such she learns that she can forgive, and she learns that forgiveness isn't weakness, it is in fact a strength. But what do you guys think? Do you agree that forgiveness was the biggest part of Katara, or do you think there was another character trait that may have been a bigger part of her? Let me know in the comment section down below. But in general, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you go to the description box down below, you'll find the links to the clips used in this video, as well as the links to my Instagram and Patreon, where on Patreon you can get early access to any and all of my videos, as well as have a say to what comes out in future. Here on YouTube, however, if you guys aren't already subscribed, go to the button down below or click the one popping up here on screen. If you want to check out one of my previous Avatar videos, the playlist will be popping up here, and then last time's Avatar character studio will be popping up here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.